Welcome back to the Best of Raleigh. Today, we are sitting down with the one and only Gretta Nance, a leader in the aesthetics industry and the director of brand strategy at Amelia Aesthetics. This year is going to mark her 22nd anniversary with the company, a milestone that reflects her dedication to patient education, business growth, and industry innovation. And I will tell you, when it comes to innovators, she's one of them. Over the past 2 decades, Gretta has played a key role in Amelia Aesthetics' success, helping to establish them as a leader in plastic surgery and medical aesthetics. And we're going to talk about all kinds of things, and then we're going to talk about their growth. And I am so excited to sit down with you. We've been chatting about this for a while. So thank you for joining the show, Gretta.
I am so excited. You and I can chat all day long. We
I
have
know.
similar vibes and similar passions with what we do.
Welcome to the Best of Raleigh with your host and real estate expert, Gretchen Coley, owner of the Coley Group. This show is all about the people and places that make the Raleigh area so special. Here's your host, Gretchen Coley.
I want you to kind of help everybody understand your journey into aesthetics. Like, how did you get into the aesthetic industry?
I'll try to shorten 22 years up quickly, but I actually worked at Central Prison out of college.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I made a big leap, was a criminal justice major and thought that was it. I'm very passionate about that. Turns out not a great place to work. Not a lot of fun, not a lot of good vibes. So randomly, my sister lost like 100 pounds around that time. And we were very close, similar age. And I was shocked at what that did kind of to her psyche, her confidence, her body. And without me even knowing, she sought out like a consultation for plastic surgery. And I mean, this was in, practically like the 90s. I was like shocked. I did not know normal people had plastic surgery, especially, we aren't wealthy or we don't live in Hollywood. And I watched it change her absolute life. And literally that day I was like scouring the newspaper, because back then that's how you found a job. And I found a plastic surgery job in the newspaper and I just jumped. And it has been 22 years and I haven't looked back.
So
it is so fun.
What was that first job?
It was at Amelia. I mean, what is now Amelia.
Yeah.
And it was front desk. And my parents were like, wait, you went to college and you did all of this and we're back working at the front desk somewhere. And I'm like, I just have a feeling about this. And, I've moved up and have done every role since then. And there was 4 of us total when we started. And I think we have over 100 team members.
It's incredible.
Throughout the Amelias now, so it's been crazy.
The prison thing is definitely a shocker. I had no idea. And for those of you who are listening and you're not watching this, you just need to go down below and get one of the links and go check her out because she's this sunshiny blonde that is vivacious and happy. And I just cannot see you working in a dark prison.
Somehow I thought it would be a lot more glamorous in a way. FBI, we're making changes, we're doing all this stuff. It's not, unfortunately. I still love to watch it and listen to my Dateline every single day, but no, I'm all in on working with women. I did not realize was so, it just filled my cup every day.
What is it about it that fills you up?
I think also women coming into what we do, plastic surgery, they are coming in with vulnerability already, and they are a different type of woman in a lot of ways. A lot of people say, I know about plastic surgery, but it's not for me. That's awesome. It's not for most people. But the women who are willing to kind of step and take a little bit of a risk, that's me. I'm a risk taker, and I'm attracted to that vibe and that energy. And most of the time those women want more in general. And so there are a lot of fun conversations about growth and what are we doing next. And plastic surgery leads to a lot of life change for a lot of people. And that's really exciting to watch.
I love that you just said that because I totally agree. I think that there is such a stigma, even still, around plastic surgery. Like, I work around a lot of young girls, and look, I try to maintain myself as best I can. I try to stay ahead of things, and it is a struggle. I turned 50 this year, and I'm around all these young girls, and they're like, so-and-so asked me if you've had any work done. I'm like, I'm 49 years old. Of course I have. And you will too when you get to my age. And it could be something not necessarily plastic surgery, but Botox, fillers, like, chemical peels, laser treatments, all of those things. But the stigmas around plastic surgery are going away a little bit, but not really. What are you seeing?
I just think we still judge. Look at people judging everyone for the weight loss medications and stuff now. It just shocks. Like I've always been a live and let live type of person anyway. I can't imagine why somebody doing something to themselves affects me. So it's always been a friction that has been fun for me to lean into and be like, but babe, you have your hair dyed and braces, and like, how is whatever it takes to make you feel better. But honestly, watching my sisters be so physically transformative. I mean, there is nothing. She did the work. She worked out, she dieted, she exercised. And then she was like, this still isn't good enough. That is really where it's like, how can you argue against that?
I agree with that, and I think the stigmas are changing, but I do think, and I've always said, if what I'm doing to myself is taking up space in your mind that you feel like you need to talk about it, poor you, right? And I feel like that everyone should do what they feel is necessary for them to feel their best self. And I know that sometimes you look in a mirror, I look in a mirror, and I'm like, who is that? Like, where did that come from? I'm like, I just want to look like my young, vivacious. I want to look like I feel on the inside. But gravity and aging takes that away from us, right? And then I had twins. I've had 3 children, one of which were twins. And so you think about like how a woman's body transforms to give life. And we give so much of ourselves that plastic surgery, medical enhancements are a way of self-care, right? They're something for us only.
Yep, they're just a tool. It's not a life. It's not, you can't not do the work. If anything, I love when women start working out and start dieting and start asking for more and start filling their cup after having surgery. It is almost a given that it happens that way.
Yeah.
And I think the more women talk about it, the better the stigma gets. It's the celebrities who pretend that they're aging with olive oil. And then
filters.
Other women see that and think that they're less than because they're not. So it has been really fun to right away. There are practices still here in Raleigh who advertise their back door so no one has to know. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, you're just fueling that this is a secret and this is bad and we should lie about it. So we have always been incredibly open kimono. That's how we've done our social media, our practice, all of our team, our patients, and we're very comfortable with what we do. And that has translated really well to the women in Raleigh, especially. They're like, I don't want to feel ashamed. And honestly, like the user generated content and things like that we get naturally are because of that. They're happy to show up and they're proud to tag us in their stuff.
Well, and I think that has a lot to do with you, because I've known you for a long time. You married a person, Nick, who I used to work with years and years ago in new construction. You've got 2 boys. So I've known you for a while, and I've watched your journey. And, before it was cool, you were showing what you were doing to yourself. And you were having very open conversations online, vulnerable as all get out, when this was not cool. And I watched people engage with you because I'm like a stalker for stuff like that. Like, you want to see the behind the scenes, right? To the point that when you had your mommy makeover, tummy tuck, however you want to say it, you like have on your highlight reels your stomach open, which is wild. But that's what women need to see in order to understand the process. And you've been such an advocate for that. How did you have the courage to do that in the beginning?
I don't even think about it as courage. I probably have always been an oversharer to a fault. I just happened to find the right industry for that. But honestly, when I was looking for my tummy tuck, even though I worked there, Instagram is, probably my age demographic where I go to do my research. And I either couldn't find like that real behind the scenes kind of content you were talking about, or what I was finding was horrific. And like, you need to take a month off work, or just this thing that wasn't relatable. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to make it as relatable as possible and show women this isn't just for people who can take off a month and a half or don't work. Like, I'm a working mom of now 4 kids between the stepkids. And I'm like, but this stuff is still possible. And so I think I'm a regular person.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, I love that because I do think one of the gifts that you have is being able to educate and articulate. And we open the show up with that education piece. You're showing it on yourself, and then you're talking and sharing the aftermath of it. And so while I thought when you have a tummy tuck, you're crippled over for like a week and a half and you can't stand up straight, I think you were in your bathroom standing up straight like the next day, right? And you had your abs tightened and did all that. So I love that you're so vulnerable in that way. And I'm sure that that's a part of the success at Amelia. Would you contribute a little bit of that to the growth that y'all have seen?
For sure. That is like that piece of being transparent. Transparency is just, to me, what is lacking. It's scary. It's same with, to me, even going to a mechanic or my dentist or getting my taxes done. I'm not the expert. So we're constantly aware that a woman walking through our door is putting all of their trust in us. And versus even going to get your car fixed, they're showing you a body part that honestly, a lot of times they tell us they haven't even shown their husbands in years. They are cashing in all of their courage. And so we do everything we can to do education and put a real face to it, even before they walk in, to help that not be so traumatizing. Because even before COVID, if you found information online beforehand, it was from the surgeon in the white coat behind the desk.
So
And
stuffy.
it's intimidating. But that's like, I don't want to go to the doctor anyway. Like, he has all the information. I have none. I'm on his time schedule. And I just got to hope that I hear what I was hoping to hear. And so we are very aware of that. And it's funny, COVID changed a lot, I feel like, for Amelia. Everybody took a lot of time off, during COVID, and we educated in person. To come in for a consultation, you're there for an hour, hour and a half. That's how you're getting your information. Well, all of a sudden, we couldn't see people in person anymore. And we kind of had this mantra really quickly we came out with after COVID that said, we will not watch Netflix. So maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you should.
We came in safely when we weren't supposed to, and we friggin' filmed. We just went, oh my God, if we can't be in person to relay this information anymore. And I think we filmed 175 videos in the first 6 weeks. And literally our nurses, everybody, it didn't matter what you did in our industry, they were captioning videos. Or another one was learning to edit videos. And we built an app in 6 weeks over COVID with 175 videos. We called it Amelia Academy. So for free, you could watch and learn.
I love that.
And honestly, we didn't realize probably what we were doing, that we had created something we're now not going to go back from. And we film daily.
Yeah.
Anything that we can send to someone and be transparent, we do.
I think that's the huge piece of it. And I would say, like, that sharing of education and the peek behind the curtain is so important. What do you think makes Amelia so different than other practices? Because there's a lot of choices, right?
Yeah. That's a really great question. I feel like lots of people, it was Dr. Davis and I who started, in 2002, the practice. And he was a different kind of surgeon. He really did care what the patients wanted, and that was important to me. There's no way I would have been able to stay had that not been a part of it. He was an older gentleman, and he was sometimes like, Greta, I don't know what you're talking about or why Facebook is important. I remember him going, why the hell are people posting pictures of their lunch? I mean, I think we were one of the first practices in the United States to make a Facebook page. I mean, we're really that old. But he supported that, even though he didn't understand maybe what women needed, that I did, and he would put money and attention behind that. And then with Dr. Pyle joining our practice 11 years ago, that just catapulted because he was one of the most humble humans I've ever met and said, I'm good at surgery. But for whatever reason, people turn to me because I have letters after my name and ask me questions about business or anything else. And he would turn to the rest of us, the front desk girl, and be like, what should we do? Or he's like, I'm just a doctor. And him starting to run it like a business is really what allowed us to serve women and create education and start having offsites and getting mission statements and vision statements. And it's now a lot less. I don't know what working in a medical practice feels like because I work in a business for women.
I agree. I think that's so cool. Now, how many doctors are there now?
Oh gosh. We have 5 in Raleigh.
Okay.
And then we have 6 other locations in and around, so far just mainly the East Coast and Midwest.
Okay, so we're going to talk about expansion next, but as far as the practice itself, all forms of plastic surgery? What's your...
Yeah, we've
Your-
mainly been in breast and body practice. Faces are hard. Faces are different. It's a different demographic. And, we were talking earlier about going all in on one thing. So you can do that thing the very best. We were very intentional about 10 years ago to go, you know what? We nail breast and body. We know that patient. We know her. Our team is her. We can create education. We created an online free women's only Facebook community, Bustmob. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but we have over 100,000 women in there now, where we just support their conversation.
Okay, what's it called again?
Bustmob.
Okay, we'll link it down below.
Yeah, BUSTMOB. And doing stuff like that made us realize, okay, we can get really good at this thing. But you know what? I'm aging too. And our patients are as well. And we started becoming a bit, realizing, in their 40s, there are a lot more women who are interested in facial. So we do have a facial surgeon now, as well as our other surgeons are starting to add more of that, as well as the med spa. We have 6 injectors at our med spa who really support the surgeons in all of the things, even if it's scar improvement or skin improvement and skin tightening and things like that.
I love that. So definitely take a look at their website, take a look at their Instagram. You'll be able to find so many things. I always am thinking about her. I'm like, should I just give her a call and ask her this question? So I did on one Sunday, and we talked for like 30 minutes when she was coming back from the mountains. And I was like, okay, here's the laundry list of all the things that I think I need. Where should I start? But it is a real question, right? Like, I'm asking myself, how can I stay feeling and looking my best? Because I'm running a business. I'm dealing with people all the time that are looking at me. They're not judging wrinkles. They're judging energy. And for some reason, you kind of need to project that level of energy, and it all needs to be like flowing together. So a little bit of Botox here and there I'm good with, and there might be some things up and coming. So this episode is brought to you by the Coley Group, the #1 Compass team in the Triangle. And if you are thinking about buying or selling in the Raleigh-Durham area, or you just want to find your perfect neighborhood, give us a call, send us a message, or you can click a link down below that will link you up with a neighborhood match survey that will help you identify where you can live your perfect lifestyle, and we would love to be your guides. You have been instrumental in Amelia's growth. What have been some of the biggest challenges that you've faced?
Oh, wow. That's obviously COVID was insanely terrifying. 2007, 2008, like, it's funny. We have these trends where we understand what a huge cost this is. And we understand that women are deciding whether to take their family on a Disney vacation, buy a new car, or invest in themselves. So mom guilt is something we talk about a lot when it comes to our strategy for helping women know that they're worth investing into. But we're also, you have to weigh all of those things. And so each election season and things like that, things go up and down because people question how they should be spending their money. But what you just said is exactly, I'm so glad you get it. It's the confident, like we always say, if that thing, when we see everyone 1 week post-op after surgery, and they walk in and we're just like, I wish I could suck that energy off of them and put it in a bottle and be a billionaire, because that thing, you don't understand though until you do it. And then you come in and you are just like, it opens doors. My life has changed because of my first surgery I had. But there have been, the transition between Dr. Davis leaving our practice and Dr. Pyle starting the practice was difficult. 2 surgeons who are wonderful, who wanted different things. And so that was a tough season of how do we go from where we were. Dr. Davis loved his kind of mom and pop practice. And there was nothing wrong with that. He did a great job serving the women of Raleigh. But Dr. Pyle really wanted to take that out of Raleigh. And so we are just now finally getting to figure out how that could look.
Let's talk about that, because you are expanding. You just came back from San Antonio. We were just talking about that. So let's talk about that expansion and how you're allowing Amelia to serve in way more markets than Raleigh.
Yeah, it's a neat story, and weirdly it has to do with COVID as well. We had a surgeon, we're obviously next to so many great colleges and medical schools here. So Amelia often gets residents from Duke and UNC coming through our practice to learn, train, and they tend to hang around and go, we don't want to leave. This is really cool. This is different. We're all teachers. We're, again, back to being very open kimono with them, and they really liked it. And Dr. Fredman was like, I'm going to join this practice for sure. And he was going to be one of our first like second surgeons in Raleigh. And then when it got closer to the time and COVID happened and all of that, he just said, I need to move. I promised my wife,
Oh, yeah.
I've been
Whoops.
in medical school for 14, she wants to go back, and they're from St. Louis. And we just went, oh my God, this is heartbreaking. We love him. He loves us, but he's got to go. And that's really when the idea of, well, how could you take Amelia with you?
Yeah.
Without, we don't want to be a franchise. You're an entrepreneur, surgeon, like a franchise. You're not the same as being a true business owner. And Dr. Fredman wanted to be a business owner. And so Amelia St. Louis was our first, second location 5 years ago. And weirdly, opening during COVID was honestly, he hit the ground running, and people were ready to get back to doing their thing. So he had an amazing first year. But what we really do, and what I get really excited about, is helping these residents come out of residency come out of medical school. They've got debt. They usually have young families, and they are told you need to stick with the hospital. And they are like, wow, opening a private practice where do I even start? Real estate, law, how do I set it up? How do I hire? They've been in medical school. They're good at a couple things that they need to be good at. And so we said, well, we can help. It took us 20 years to build our practice, but now we have this guidebook that really works.
Yeah.
And so what if we work together and help you?
I love that.
So he opened a practice with, I think, 3 people to begin with. And he's just hit the 5-year mark. He just opened a huge, beautiful med spa.
Wow.
He's booked out months and months and months. He has his own OR. Like that's is
amazing.
exactly what gets me up and going in the morning to help these men
love
and
it.
women.
Now, how many locations do y'all have now?
Six. Yep. And
Okay.
we're opening Amelia Wilmington in 2 months, Amelia Tampa Bay. And we are adding, Dr. Fredman is hiring his first second surgeon
Nice.
at his location.
Awesome.
And he'll be here next week. So it's
Lots
really
of
cool.
things going on.
Yeah.
So what's next after those things? Like where are you seeing here in Raleigh?
Yeah. Well, it's taken us a little bit. We've had this idea for a couple of years, but I think it's actually going to happen this fall. We know we can make women look really good. And that ultimately makes you feel good. But we're all getting older too. Even Dr. Pyle and I were similar age, and we're starting to not feel as good. And so functional medicine has been a conversation that has been around. Our team is very health-minded too. We all read Outlive together as a practice
We got
a couple years
smoothie
ago.
bar behind you.
I know.
We're health focused too.
So we are opening Amelia Health, so functional medicine for women in our Raleigh location first. And we really have a feeling that this will be something that the other locations will want to offer to women as well.
I agree with that. Functional medicine is definitely the wave of the future, right? And being able to integrate that so that you are giving women tools to use after to continue to improve their success. And God, it comes from the inside, right? What you eat, how you move your body, how you're treating and being proactive with yourself so you're not getting sick and diseases and such is a real big thing. So I'm excited for that. I want to come over and try that out when you get it going.
As I age, everything we keep adding on, I'm like, I'm never going to leave. Like at some point,
can't.
we need the Amelia nursing home. I will make sure that it follows along with my aging.
Oh, I love that. Well, you are so amazing. What are some of the things that you are seeing that women are asking for the most?
Well, with all the GLP-1s and things like that too, which it's so funny. The kids,
Okay, explain what that is.
I know, I'm sorry. It's funny. I was talking about it at dinner with all the kids last night, and even my husband said, "What's a GLP-1?" And I'm like, I didn't realize that everyone was, Ozempic or a form. Again, I'm not a nurse. I'm not clinical, but all of these weight loss tools that are out there, and the kids were like, "Aren't they bad?" And I'm like, I don't know. You're right. They have some side effects.
Yeah.
But if obesity will kill you and causes the most health issues, if we finally have a way for men and women to lose weight, yes, there's some side effects, I'm sure, but it still seems worth it to so many people.
Yeah.
And so even if you weren't obese, women are able to lose 30, 20 pounds, which is changing your skin, depending on how rapidly you lost the weight as well. And so skin removal, skin tightening, all of that has skyrocketed in our business, surgically and non-surgically.
What's your favorite face laser tightening?
We tend to lean on all therapy, but honestly, someone needs to invent something. Like, there is no magic wand. I know, we're not, like, I'll be as honest as I can.
tab you for that.
I know. Well,
you go figure that out.
I try everything, and unfortunately, it's like a combination
Your skin
of
looks
everything.
fabulous, though.
Thank you. With my nice little bruise here, it's always maintenance. We're always doing something, but I think it is, honestly, it's funny. I had a little like cyst, and I've had some skin cancers, and you know, doing things along the way, I really feel like has always been my best advice.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yeah,
for
I
the
agree.
facelift. And I hear that all the time. I'm not going to do that until I'm 50, or I'm not going to do that. I'm like, babe, why would you do that? You literally need to be doing something every few months to help, if it's not sunscreen or skincare or facials, or there really is, it's not going to go well for you if you decide to just go all in at one particular time.
I agree. It makes it so much harder, and I see it all the time. And that's where, you know, I was talking about a facelift with one of my friends, and she was like, well, you know, my husband would never want me to get one of those because we make fun of everybody who has one. I'm like, you don't even know who has one.
Yes.
Because the ones that are really good,
Yes.
you have no idea.
Exactly.
Like, the old bad facelift, that is gone.
Yes.
The new facelifts are like, you just look refreshed and younger, and
Yes.
and you would never know it. So it's fun to see how far the industry has changed, and you have been so instrumental in it. Thank you so much for coming on today. Where can people find you?
I'm such an Instagram person. You can tell how old I am. My Instagram is at Gretta Nance. And I mean, I am so comfortable. People DM me the craziest things. Women, if you're a man, don't DM me. But
Don't DM any crazy things.
But if you're a woman, I am like, I love helping how I can. And honestly, whether that's not plastic surgery, it's life, or I'm a self-help junkie, and I'm very transparent about my journey through divorce and kids and aging and all the things. And it's just really fun.
And where can they find Amelia Aesthetics?
You can go to askamelia.com. You can go to amelia.aesthetics on Instagram. Literally, if you just Google it, we're obnoxiously everywhere.
Well, we will link everything down below. And this has been such a great conversation. If you loved it, you have to check out Gretta. Follow along for the journey. I'm going to promise you it is a fun ride. And if you're looking for something special to do for yourself, go check out Amelia. You will not be disappointed. And if you are in the market and thinking about making a move here in Raleigh, the Coley Group would obviously love to help facilitate that for you. We'd love to advise and guide your process. All of our contact information is below. And if you love this episode, click like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next Best of Raleigh. We drop a new one on Fridays on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. See you in the next Best of Raleigh.